And we are live.
We're live!
Hello.
Live!
This is the Ninja DC joining again for another React discussion for the first two episodes of Hazbin Hotel Season 2.
Absolutely fucking peak.
Yeah. Out of the gate. I mean,
these are literally the two best, in my opinion, these are the two best episodes of the entire show so far. This season is going to be fucking incredible. I am so excited.
I'm jazzed.
Yes.
Right now my thoughts are like a bit of a blur right now, except for that one moment of song that is like, what we just thought a song that just beats all the Has-Been songs so far.
Gravity. Literally. I actually
mean,
asked my singing teacher if I could do Gravity because they posted Gravity before the episodes came out on YouTube.
Yeah.
So because of that, I actually sung Gravity with my singing teacher because it was that good. And now my singing teacher is planning on watching Hazbin Hotel. Literally. I'm not making this up.
And that's an endorsement and a half. Okay.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
All right.
All right.
Before we go into more thoughts, I guess we might as well give a quick introduction, everyone. I guess starting with random Google Meets order. Wolfgang.
Hello, it is I, Wolfgang, also known as, hold on, let me pick up these names here. Evan, some people call me Ev, Rose, or some people call me Rosemary, based off of the Walton Files character, and Sayuri, because Doki Doki Literature Club. Those are the three names that people call me now, and yes, I do cycle through names way too fucking often, but that happens every time. So besides the usual point here, these two episodes are some of the best ones, in fact, the best ones I've seen in the series thus far, and I got to see the Living Tombstone live, which was the best night of my fucking life. And also, I still love my girlfriend. Realsy, if you're watching this, which you probably are, hi, I know you're sleeping. I miss you. Also, I know that you're gonna have to play Tetris a second. I have no clue who's gonna win, but I know that you're both gonna beat me. So, yeah.
Love is the sweetest thing.
Carlos.
Hello there. This is the Gunmetal Gator here.
Yeah.
Your frequent, ever-loving Digi-Dustin. I am here to let you know that for all the doubts I might have had for like a Vivian Medrano production here, since the topsy-turvy waves of season 2 of Hell of a Boss, I'm here to say that this time for like Hazbin Hotel, first 2 episodes, it feels like season 1 redone, in which like we have a much more interesting playing field.
Yeah.
In which case we have the idea of the story about like trying to redeem sinners be contemplated with the actual tensions of hell and heaven. And now it actually starts to feel like it makes sense in comparison to what happened to season 1. I'm sorry. I feel like...
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah, like after the event of what they did in order to get to this point, we just find ourselves in an actual sensible spot for like the writing right now, and I feel happy.
All right, next up, Jenn.
Hello, I may be first and I am not last, but I am first and always, and in the middle, Jenn. Anyway, happy Halloween for those who celebrate, and now, happy Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
Sugar skulls, beautiful costumes and makeup, and it be at peace with the dead. Yeah, but anyway. And of course, it's a muy bonita culture. But anyway, oh my gosh, Hazbin Hotel. Darn it all, Vizzy Pop came out the gate, guns blazing with the animation, the story, the songs. We now have the spiritual successor to Hell is Forever, and it is every bit the sequel it is supposed to be.
It is so fucking cool.
I was like, oh, and Loot is going so hard. Kudos to the singer and the actress for Loot. We are witnessing madness We are witnessing a quote angel descend into madness, and this is something never expected, and as much as Loot drives me kind of nuts.
Same.
I can't wait to see the ultimate crash out. Her crash out is going to be absolutely euphoric, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. But at the same time, it's kind of annoying, and at the same time, I thought that son of a bitch Adam was dead, but he's alive as a ghost in her mind. That's the only way it could make sense. I was really kind of hoping he'd end up being like some sort of sinner in hell, but you know what?
I have a comment about that later.
Huh?
I have a theory how things are going to go.
Oh boy, I am in such anticipation for hopefully what I'm hoping Loot's eventual. This isn't just going to be a crash out. This is going to be, I'm hoping, a nuclear burnout. Honestly, some sort of like nuclear Chernobyl style burnout, and I'm hoping it will be epic. Honestly. And
absolutely, Loot has already lost her mind. She can only get worse from here.
Can only get worse. There is no. She can only get worse, and that's something like whatever. And also, I loved it. We have a new character like the speaker, and kudos. Design of the speaker is absolute wonderful. The voice of it is absolute wonderful. And I thought Sarah's. I thought I loved Sarah's. Now I am frothing at the mouth to see a cosplay of Sarah, and I want the speaker. I want a cosplay of the speaker, in which I will purposely continue to froth at the mouth like a rabid dog until someone has to put me down by the shed. Okay.
All right.
So,
we know what to cosplay next time for con.
And then next up, second end day.
Sprinkle in the poisoned entrails throat. Of a finny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and tail of frog, war of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm that's powerful for trouble, like a hell brought boil and bubble. Tile and trouble, and cauldron bubble.
Yay.
Happy Halloween. I've been wanting that to be my Halloween greeting for forever.
Let's go.
Don't forget slice of lemon.
Also, Hazbin Hotel happened or something.
Yes.
Although expect me to be a moderating, calm down, and remember that other episodes exist kind of a presence here.
No.
well, here's the thing. I these two episodes, you know what? Even though they set a crazy high precedence, and I think by just the previews, that we did see, they will be beaten, and they will be beaten, I think. And I'm happy to see how.
I'm just going by the way the last season went out. Like the seasons basically just kept getting better until the end. So
did anyone else see like the singing and all the songs, all the singing, all the songs have just been ramped up again in their theatrics?
So amazing.
The one with also not just Lutz, but also Sarah's with
Sarah's
the
confession.
That's just
beautiful.
That just touches my heart. And I also, I'm sorry, second. I should shut up. That was your introduction. I'm so sorry.
Keep going.
Okay, just one last sentence, and I'll shut up. I promise. But also, I loved it that Sarah's not the one who's doubling down and being like, "No, I was right." No, it's more characteristic. I think of that Loot is the one who's doubling down because, but in a way, I'm glad it's Sarah who's kind of being like, "Oh my gosh, just the moment when she's like talking to the speaker and she's like, "What have I done?" And I was like, "Yes." And yes, you get it.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think we all knew that Loot would, consider this a break in the action at best and would want to fight this to her last drop of blood if that's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Seraphim, that's in one of those could go anyway categories for me, because it's like, I don't know, Seraphim, like, she was pretty cold last season, if you remember. I didn't like her, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to, because I mean, her, like, eyes shining, smiley hypocrisy, her elbow over the evidence to the contrary, the ending a trial, the like, well, I'm the judge, so I declare that I won this trial that I otherwise didn't score any points in and completely got routed in. Her condescending to Emily, like, I mean, if you started me at the top of this episode before I'd seen anything and you said, all right, so we're on that part now, Seraphim and Emily, what do you want to see happen there? I'd say I want Seraphim to be stumbling and prattling and talking out of her ass, trying to make this somehow okay on her part, just like she was doing at the start. And then I want Emily to stick it to the man and kick her off her tower and assume control of this. And instead, like, Emily seems to think Seraphim needs like a gentle caress and an understanding look into her eyes, and yes, it's okay that you were able to admit you were wrong, and it works, and Seraphim seems to enter what have I done mode, which I'll admit is not touching, but all right, this episode just put itself on a bit of a delicate tightrope to walk. It'll be a great show if it happens. If they fall, then that'll be quite a crash, because I mean, Seraphim is not wrong to say that she has blood on her hands,
right?
And that she was a deeply hypocritical person up to now. So the fact that gets to her after all, now that it's like, I guess they're setting her up for like the kind of person who uncomfortably chose left instead of right because it seemed like a good idea at the time, and didn't like.
She also
wanted to get to the end of the road because getting there and finding out no worries, you were right, is a lot more promising than whether you're wrong at the end of the road or halfway through it, isn't that kind of all the same? And so now she crashed into the wall and she can't go any further. It's like, but that doesn't make you a better person now that you understand that you just slammed your face into a wall and you can't, and you have to go back the other way.
Right.
Not in itself, it doesn't. So it's like, she's got a long road upwards, and I mean, that can be a compelling character arc, but it's like, all right, you have to balance the fact that like what she did up to now is inexcusable, and what she has to do to honestly make up for it is to be a hell of a good person as well, if there's ever a time to say that. But
it's still you have a good point, Second. It's all about in this case, I love how Vizzy plays with the whole idea of the idea of like redemption and sins and such. And I love how Vizzy plays with this and has been. It's like she's constantly asking the question, what is redemption? What is sinning really? And in this case, we bring up something interesting. In Sarah's case, now it's like she's a seraphim. She's an angel. She's the powerful angel, a most powerful of God's angels, and apparently according to seraphims. And now she's in a way sinned, and now she's looking for forgiveness. And like, an angel? What?
The thing is, I still feel Sarah will become a villain near the end of like season 4 or 5.
Maybe.
And I feel like Vox's actions and some other similar actions will probably be the push through, where essentially he's like, I could even see her saying like, well, I'll be the one that sins for everyone else, sort of thing. Like a demon you're kicking up.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
come down
see,
to-
I'm less sure of that because they're presenting like Sarah's turning point is not, oh well, hell wasn't gonna rise up after all. In fact, they keep stressing that, like, no, she knows that they still could. The like what seems to be her line in the sand is that okay, no, I was wrong. It's not all the same if these souls die now or suffer indefinitely, they're lost. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's a bit. I mean, for that to be her turning back point, like, oh, hell is rising up after all. She won't have to like be convinced. She won't. They won't be able to just show her the bad guys at exactly the wrong time. And oh, guess I was right after all. They're gonna have to have her decide that she doesn't care that much about her moral breaking point after all. So it's like, so there's basically, if she, because she's deciding this for the right reasons, and if that is why, then yeah, there's no room for an innocent misunderstanding. This is either she cares about her redemption point or she doesn't when push comes to shove. So like,
I think that what's interesting is that it seems pretentious. Wait, Serpentious and Sarah have kind of, I don't want to say vices, but they have weaknesses. I'm wondering if, okay, we kind of know what Serpentious I think might be. It's his friends at the hotel, in particular Cherry, and like I said before, and I'll say it again, all it's going to take on Pentious, I think, will definitely. I think this will happen. Pentious will definitely sin again, and so that way he can go back. He can go back to hell for his friends and Cherry, and for Sarah. I believe if Emily is placed in any sort of danger and she has no choice and she's put in that sort of corner, then who knows? Then I think maybe Sarah would as well.
I
But
think Serpentis will eventually go back to hell, but I don't think he's going to be a demon again. Just because I feel that is the overall end game of this show. Is that
an angel?
well,
Yeah.
like okay, well, what I was like, Seraphim is in the could go either way in any way category for me. Something, and this is where I see these episodes as very, very intro and very like, okay, we're right back. It feels like where we should be. And on that note, I should preface, I feel like I have favorite episodes of Hell of a Boss. I don't know if I have favorite episodes of Hazbin Hotel. Like maybe I wasn't trying that hard, but Hazbin Hotel just feels like very much more like I'm watching
an extended movie,
different slices, of just like basically one episode. Well, I mean, they have clear beginnings and ends, so that feels a little bit wrong. But I mean, it feels like they basically took one story and put it up into slices to show us one at a time. More like Hell of a Boss, it feels like very much more this is the story of the week, and it speaks to an overarching one. But I mean, like, the highest emotional high points are not like, okay, this is just where we happen to get to it, and the stuff around that, whether it's mostly in this episode or mostly not, is right in line with the building up, building down. Like, no, Hell of a Boss has isolated pockets of these are the especially emotional story. Okay, so that's the short of it. But this feels like another link in the story to me, and where I can't say it's like, oh, clearly this is the best one yet. I mean, it has, stuff like plot points that I'm really excited for and I think are working really well, like how Charlie and Name to be determined still, the two demons in hell, or the fallen angel and demon in hell, are still the most non-toxic, wholesome couple with the most productive advice for one another and the most healthy relationship. Like, that seems like it's pretty well done. Alistair, they seem like, for really building up like how, or for establishing all the ways that he stands out, like he's not what he seems to be. Yeah, last season they reintegrate him just fine, like this time so far. Like they establish in as few words as possible, like where he stands with everybody, how he is functioning just like before, and we'll get to him. What else? Loot, I think, is a successful plot point here, and even Emily's relationship with Sir Pentious, I thought ended up being really sweet. Not excited for one, it seems like they very possibly could, and I really hope they don't go the Sir Pentious sins and goes back to hell thing. It's such a cliche trope, like
I don't.
So.
I have a feeling they will. Honestly.
I think I was doing
I don't like it. It's very.
I know.
Go back to the status quo. It's very. Because nuance is hard, we're going to go the broadest. Like, oh, Sir Pentious wants his friends. He is not happy in heaven, and 10-cent drama is so easy if all you have to do is they did not understand, so he went back to status quo. Like
it also screws over everything Charlie has done. And at the same time, of all the characters he had to fall in love with, Cherry?
Yeah. Cherry? That always confused me so fucking bad.
Just to go back to the thought, is like, I do agree with like seconds. Like, I do feel Sir Pentious will at some point go back to hell, but like not in a sense of like going back as a sinner, but like in some sort of portal or something. He's going to set foot in hell again. I guarantee that.
I think so too.
But I don't see
unite. But I mean, like,
but I'm just saying, like, I don't see him becoming a sinner again, just because I feel like that goes against the core theme of what this entire show is about, which is redemption.
Right.
Which is like I feel like a lot of people which is why I'm against like a lot of like, oh, heaven is the real villain. Like some theories, like, no, not really. There will be antagonists in heaven, I guarantee that. And that's not just loot.
Heaven is the privileged class.
Yeah.
I actually have a kind of theory about how this could go. I think that it's going to be like two different routes here, where either they're going to do the first route where Charlie is allowed to have Sarah visit hell, right? Because what she said was you can only leave heaven if you are permitted to. And I think that Sarah would obviously want to make connections with hell after what happened and said, oh, you can leave if you're permitted to. And in the trailer, there's multiple clips that show Sarah, Lute, and Emily in hell. Don't believe me? There's also a frame where Sarah is with Charlie. So why the hell would she not bring Pentious?
Maybe.
So
That's like a pretty good point here is like Adam, for example, was pretty darn sinful and he got to stick around. So yeah, it probably takes more than a deliberate.
And Luke is arguably even worse.
Yeah.
But
so my theory here is basically this route goes as this. Sarah Emily stands up to Sarah and goes up to her to ask for permission to leave heaven, so that way Pentious can reunite with his friends, not permanently, but just to be able to see them, so he can finally speak to them again.
He just wants to they're okay.
Yeah, so then Pentious gets to talk to his friends because Sarah brings them in the portal scene that we see in the trailer. So then Pentious is able to do that and then is quickly escorted back to heaven because he has a limited time to stay there because of the shutdown. Or they could go the dumbass route and have Pentious sin and go back to hell, which would be terrible in all ways, would
Agreed.
completely go against the show's narrative entirely, would
Agreed.
basically make Charlie's entire life purpose a failure, and
Mhm.
all the scenes about Penchus being redeemed in this episode, that entire episode, except for Lute's scenes, would be completely null and void. And in a series that has constant plot points every 5 seconds, that much filler is a bad idea.
Agreed.
Especially with a series as crowded as Hazbin Hotel. If all that was just null and void, that would completely destroy Viv's bad pacing when it comes to her writing entirely. So
Well, I don't
it's in
wanna-
all regards a bad idea.
I don't want to paint too broad a brush here because, like, let me be clear. There is such a thing as a good story about Penchus saying, yeah, screw this noise and getting himself sent back to hell. A failed assimilation, for example, because,
Mm.
yeah, like people saying redemption is the point of this show. I don't know if I necessarily agree. I think that's the end goal for the heroes to succeed or fail at. The show is about sort of class warfare and social commentary and like people trying to make the case that they deserve to be understood and helped and move towards their best selves, while in fact being pretty flawed and bad people in a lot of ways. Like that's like a lot of real world parallel. Like we're not very kind to the mentally unwell, who are very often like well-meaning, good people who are like, you know, it's very hard to say like, no, I can be productive and stable while you are in fact are not in a good state to be productive and stable, yet you need help to get to that part. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There could be a hyper compelling story about heaven, the condescending, you're either right or you're wrong class, doing a poor job assimilating Penchus, treating him like he needs to leave behind the things that made him who he is up to now and just be one of them, one of us, and like, yeah, and having just this tragic, like, despite Emily's best efforts, that, yeah, Penchus really can't be blamed for thinking I don't belong here. There's nuanced writing to be had. If they go the route of him being sent back to hell, I would, even just from the beats they're hitting so far with that, I would fully expect it to be the easy melodrama they did not understand and possible misunderstanding, or they just, yeah, Penchus, heaven isn't paradise without your friends. So
Or the one you
this
love in this
tragic
game.
music gets himself sent back to hell. All the cliches you've heard 1,000 times, like,
Oh no.
You know what?
like
I
there's two
literally
different ways you can write the same plot point. And I'm afraid, and I would sooner bet on it being the ham-fisted broad brush one, but that it doesn't in and of itself have to have that plot point.
I will
Not
Wait a
a-
second,
not
wait a
only do
second,
I
I
like
wanted to
series-
bring up something about the class warfare argument you brought in,
Uh-huh.
because I feel like a very important thing is like the very nature of souls for this continuity, for this universe. Because like if one sinner goes to heaven, basically, does that mean we forget everything about them in this fight, in this war, basically? Because I think that's going to be also a major plot point that they're going to have to delve into for like the next episodes.
Well, they had to think about our people before themselves to go to heaven. So I had two theories. Now I have two theories.
Mhm.
Either they're going to figure out our ways to go into heaven besides, sacrificing literally yourself for other person. And then, maybe Cherub or some of the others can meet Serpentius in heaven, and he can have a life in heaven with her, which would be really sweet. Or I had a theory with like, now we know that Adam is shit. We know that he basically can do whatever he wanted before he died, But I think like there must be some way that you can become what's that called, a fallen angel, like you know, I guess like Lucifer. So I was thinking my second theory was that Serpentius is going to try and find out what that takes, and maybe like try and sin, but it's not going to work because now he's in heaven.
Right.
And yeah, you know, like Adam and like Second said, it's not going to
Sending your way back ain't gonna happen.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think what's going I think he's either going to evil lady angel, and she might become the fallen angel and dragging him down with her. So he has a way like that, but that would be crazy too.
You can tell how much imagination this show
Yes.
stimulates by how much fan fiction everybody immediately
Yes.
wants to
Oh
start.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just
I'm already thinking about.
And I have one more thing that I really wanted to say. Is it just me, or is the voice of the god or whatever she was called, is that Stolas' mom?
The speaker.
Oh my god, I thought of that.
She's in my.
Look at her. I was just like,
I have three different things actually. Just go back to that.
Okay.
Let me actually comment, I guess, that because it's a short thing. Viz has commented mentioned two things in like Twitter and all that about actually she doesn't use Twitter, whatever, social media. She's commented two things about the speaker of God. One, she says like she just doesn't feel comfortable ever depicting God in this series because it's too nebulous an idea.
That's too much.
Right.
So the speaker is essentially going to be the closest thing to God in heaven.
Yes.
So
But
then
she's
that's,
the speaker of God, so
and then
But
Viz also commented on the other thing with her is people just like, oh yeah, a lot of people have noticed the similarity between the speaker and the Gote. They said essentially
Goetia?
Goetia. And she said she commented she commented on a fan theory that she's basically confirmed is like basically every head sin and hell created their own subspecies, and Lucy created his subspecies, which is the Gote, which he modeled them after someone, the speaker.
Oh.
That's why there is a similarity between like the Gote and like the speakers. Like Lucy made them in their sort of in that image.
Also, it's Stolas' mom.
Wait. So the speaker is not like a form of Metatron then? Okay. That's interesting.
Oh, it would be really interesting. I have one more. If the speaker is actually hiding and are going to making the other one fall, making her the fallen angel and dragging to pinches. I don't know.
We're going around.
Going back to that,
crazy. I know.
Going back to that, I just wanted to go back to loot and all that. That's my theory with loot is I feel the season will end with her basically doing something incredibly stupid or impulsive, and she won't be killed, but she will feel at the end of the season or beginning of the next, she will be tossed out of heaven. And going into
there is going to be a painful moment, an undeniably painful moment where she wins at least for the time being, for the season, for the month, for the literal end of one episode, and then it's reversed. But I mean, like, she is so bitter and spiteful that her whatever victory she gets with or without the V's, in fact, whatever victory the V's get for that matter, is going to hurt. And make no mistake, they're absolutely going to have to do it for at least a bit, for them getting the upper hand and whatnot.
That's
But
I think you're right.
Or one's going to enable the other to
I
happen.
feel loot
and also might be the way that she falls because
Yeah, we all know that Loot is going to lose in one way or the other at the end. I mean, nobody wants a show where the final episode is Loot winning, but I mean, I think Like,
Yeah,
But I
yes,
think
my strongest theory is definitely Loot falling because
but I feel
like
Loot
it
will
feels like
fall,
everything is lining up for it.
But I
Yeah.
feel
being
Floot.
sent to hell is a cruel irony.
But on top of
Mhm.
that, because I feel like this confirms that Adam is dead in this universe. However, remember Adam had 2 sons,
Yeah.
Right, we
Yes.
need to see Cain.
and that's where when Luke gets sent to hell, that's where Cain will get. I feel
She's gonna
introduced.
find Cain.
And then boom,
The
instantly
son that
having
she
a
likes.
Oh my
And-
god.
Yeah, if
Yes.
Adam doesn't like Abel, does that make Cain the son he likes?
I-
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's-
No,
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
actually make sense. That would actually make sense if Cain
Maybe
were
he doesn't like
Cain
either
were
of
the
them,
one
but he
that,
has
that
to
Adam
choose.
liked.
No. I think it's more because like Cain is the one that has machismo, would be more
Right.
in line. But like it would be like in the sense that he likes Cain, but Cain hates him.
Mm.
That I would like that. I would actually like that
Yeah.
if I would love that, honestly, and just because I love revenge and everything, and Adam was such a
Yes.
fucking dick,
That's
I would
Yeah.
cold
I would
revenge.
love it if like Cain, if we see some sort of version of Adam and he finds Cain and he's like, oh my god, you're my son and everything and some shit, and then Cain's like, fuck you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I love that
I
too.
would love that.
Dysfunctional, and then
I
Adam
would
wouldn't even be
absolutely
put
love
off
if he's
by
like
that 'cause
taller
that's
and
just
beefier.
machismo.
Mhm.
If he's like taller and beefier, or and like, and he's like so like I don't know if he's like taller and beefier, and he's like no words with Adam. Like, he don't even better.
Yeah.
You could find Cain, and he doesn't even have to say anything to Adam. He could just turn around and just walk away. And
Okay.
I would be
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
And I would be somebody be like,
That would be amazing.
Okay, I have investments about the Cain story just because of like my different exposures to the story. If you ever watch Supernatural and seen their depiction of Cain, and which he was just a guy who was just trying to hide out, just trying to not do any more harm because of like his curse, making him immortal, and just living painfully through everything and whatnot. But then there's also other depictions, like say in video games, like in Devil Survivor, in
Right.
which Cain becomes like a twinky 20-something like hacker guy who's just basically trying to cause the uprising by letting demons out into the real world.
oh, you know what? You know what? Wouldn't it be funny if all of a sudden, you know what would be really funny? It would be funny if like, I don't know, we find a little bit of a reason as to why Cain killed Abel, and the thing is the way Abel is, I'm like, now I know why you died.
Okay, like was it like just like he just felt like an urge, like he just couldn't stand his little brother.
We know that Cain killed Abel anyway, but I'm like thinking like, you know what?
Yeah.
When I saw this Abel in the show, I was like, you know, maybe it's not exactly a bad thing that Cain killed you because you're kind of
Well, the fact
annoying.
that Abel's in heaven, I feel like, well, I mean, okay, there's no way they could not spin
I'm
that.
saying
but I
this
mean,
now, Jen.
feel like they're-
I have a feeling you're gonna love you're gonna love Abel by the end of the season. I just have
You
a
know,
feeling.
right? Okay, he just struck
depending
me
on
as
how
like-
much they
he
want
struck
to
me as
do
like
it.
all the annoying. Okay, I apologize if there are any Generation Zers in the call or in the viewers. I am not making. I'm trying not to make fun of you. I promise. And I am not a boomer. I am an expert. And but he just when Abel was talking, it just I don't know. It just felt like a Gen Z parody. It felt like someone's taking the worst parts of. Okay, like I mean, I don't mean to insult anyone of Gen Z, but this
I
just
think it's hilarious.
it just felt like this feels like everything annoying about Gen Z.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. I
the
love
way
it.
Abel was, and I'm like,
The thing
wow.
with
And the
Abel
first
is,
an introduction of Abel, I'm like, you know, I mean, if I come out loving Abel at the end, fine. You know, I'm all for being wrong and everything. But listening even the first part, I'm like, well, maybe it's not a bad idea. Cain killed you, but you know what? If I end up loving you at the end, I'll be like, no, I take that back. I'm totally.
Well, first good
I
sign.
mean, I kind of
Adam
hate my
didn't
generation,
like him.
so like,
I had a feeling. I got someone made a fan comic of like Adam's interaction with Abel, and I was like, you know what? This makes total sense that Adam would be a shit dad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what was
He
going
was
with
the
Abel
first
is,
man. He was the first man. Come on.
He was the first dick,
Right.
as he says.
Not
I'm
the
like,
tough
oh
thing to
yeah.
improve
Mhm.
upon, the first man.
But
And
the
the
thing is,
first dick.
Man.
So
the thing with going with Abel
Dick
is,
the
master.
first dick. I'm like, you know what? It's absolutely perfect. It makes sense. He's the first man, the first dick, the first deadbeat dad.
Let's go.
but that
It
actually
makes
goes back to my what I feel.
And literally a deadbeat
But
on the ground.
Perfect. Da, 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 da.
Going back to Abel's personality right now, like I feel we still have to really see it. Main vibe I got it right now is that like he's essentially that one son like that the father's ashamed of, but sort of inherits the business when the father has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Whereas like he never prepared him for the job or anything like that. He just sort of treated him like shit. And
Yeah.
that's how I got from Abel. Is Abel is basically that like abused son that the father is always ashamed of, and then suddenly he's thrown into the business. He's like, well, what the hell do I do?
Well, why would he? Here's the thing: if he was the abused son, I'd be like, why the hell would he want Adam's guitar to remember him by? I mean, if I were an abused child, I would want everything to that parent. You know?
I just think he just wanted a guitar, but
I think he just wanted the guitar.
Well, I mean, like this is heaven, bro. You can find I'm sure you could find. There's a few harp stores and metal. There's music.
Adams is the most awesome guitar, huh?
But
what if he has the best one?
But what if he wants to actually destroy the guitar privately, just to vent out his
Oh, true.
I will allow that.
Honestly, I guess what we're circling here is that we really don't know a thing about this version of Abel's internal world.
Yeah.
At least something that he's like
intended things on it, what they were trying to communicate, but they really haven't confirmed a single thing, whether he's the way he is because he's sensitive and empathetic, because he's a nepo prattling useless boy, because they could pretty much go any way they want to, as is. Like Abel, he's been introduced. Unlike the speaker, for example, we don't really know his game yet.
No, we don't. The speaker had a great introduction and everything.
Oh yeah, the speaker is one of those things that I think worked really well in this episode.
Fair.
Like I talked about
design,
highs and lows of an introduction. I like her scene with Serpentius. That was stunningly sweet. And I mean, like the episode was trying not to forget too hard that Serpentius is primarily a comedic character, but it didn't need to. It just her goodwill towards him and his being patient and letting him take it as much time as he needed to spit it out, and that there are some really touching, painful things in his backstory that
was fun really hearing the Serpentius lore. I can't I feel human form is so much like Rip Van Winkle from Hellsing.
Going back to the is like I feel that also is important to lore, because I feel that's the closest thing we have to actually what you need to do to get redemption to heaven.
Yeah.
You know what? I think so, yes. It makes
correct
sense.
Yeah, because like everything else has just been like, okay, how do we get in heaven? How do we redeem? Like it was a sort of intentionally up in the air. That I feel got for the closest like reveal. Like it's not like a note, like here's not like a guided list yet, but we still have the closest thing to like what you need to do, which is seemingly like come to terms of like what sin you got you in hell and redeem yourself from that. Yeah.
Right. And he did. And the thing is, like Adam, one thing about Adam is that, he pretty much laid out the rules of how to get in. And you know what? Serpentius followed them. So I have some malicious compliance,
Yeah. I was actually thinking about a funny thing with what if Serpentius the trying of sins in all different ways, and they're just like, well, this is heaven, so You can do, whatever. You're not going back.
Yeah, Loot was the high point of this episode. Serpentious and the speaker and their scene together was, I think, a very close runner-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I just thought of something. The worst thing that could happen. I hope they don't do this. And this just literally just popped into my head. And I literally hope they don't do this. If Serpentious finds a way back into hell, and his way to do it is to sacrifice Emily.
No, I don't see that.
No, just having him go full. I mean, like, yeah, sacrificing Pentius's good-gotten gains is one thing. Sacrificing his likability and any reason to, like, value him as or any reason to believe him and want him to succeed, that's quite another.
I would hope,
but that's one.
I would hope that, Emily doesn't have to be sacrificed like that, but you know what, if you really want to turn like, I hope that does not happen, because I really never really hated, like, Pentious and everything, but I guarantee you, if he wants to go back to hell that bad for his friends and for Cherry, and he sacrifices Emily to do it, I'd have to quit. I might have to quit. I'm like,
I think so.
There is a needle's eye at most where that plot thread actually works.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I feel like the overall Emily's and Charlie's, like, role in the show, I feel, will become closer and closer mirrored just in hell and heaven. And I feel like the big plot for, at least, I feel the season 2's plot is going to be like heaven straight up just doesn't know what to do with it. And I mean, the worst ways possible. Like Emily, like, unintentionally was, like, just not showing him his friends and, like, not even thinking about that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of those mistakes will happen through this season. And then, like, the next season, I feel will focus more on, like, okay, we've learned from our mistakes, but we're still learning. Sort of thing. Like, I feel like a big part of Emily's plot is going to be, like, on-roading, like, redeems sinners in heaven. That would be a big part of her plot. And eventually, like, Serpentious will not be the only one up there. So,
right.
Big, like, that's one thing I want to put this season. Like, okay, place bets. Who's going to be the next one redeemed?
Honestly, when it comes to, like, my theories after watching this episode in general, I have a lot. But let me just say, the V's, I don't even fucking know how, after seeing both episodes, have become single-handedly my favorite characters in the show. And
V's, really?
Yeah, the thing is that I still have Charlie and Alistair really high on the list, because Alistair is one of my favorite characters, and, Charlie is literally me, but that's besides the point.
I can't believe, I am so shocked, actually. This still kind of shocks me in a sense, how ambitious Vox is in this. I mean, I saw the previews. I'm like,
I think it's so fucking cool, because
Vox has got these ambitions and crap. I really thought like Alistair was gonna. I thought Alistair had these ambitions, and you know what? Maybe he does. Maybe he still does, and we don't know. But
it's just hidden. It's just hidden behind this whole deal.
Maybe. Well, oh, wait a minute, because Vox is broadcasting them because he's it's funny because he's a TV. Ha ha ha.
So, like, remember I said before, like, I feel Vox is going to be essentially the mid-villain sort of thing. And the thing is, going back to that, who's going to be after him? Well, one of them is probably going to definitely be
Alistair.
Alistair
would have to be the penultimate dragon threat. Like, honestly, let's just be honest.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's going to come down. I really think it's going to come down to both Vox and Alistair fighting for who's going to be the big baddie at some point. And I maintain this. I am 99.9% that we're going to have an Alistair betrayal.
And maybe those are my theories too.
And maybe this is the season that he's going to do it.
Nah,
I don't
I
think so. That's too early. Like we
Yeah.
need the betrayal to sting.
Yeah,
We
there's
need to
going to be
wait until later.
True,
it's
true.
planned for 5
Ooh.
seasons for this. That's why I feel like Fox and them are going to be dealt with early, and then we're going to have the repercussions of whatever they did dealing with in season 3, a new villain. But I feel like Alistair.
It was Vox. But then I remembered the ending song is like "Hell will belong to the V's," and I'm like, oh, that's right. They made that proclamation in the last song that hell will belong to the V's.
Yeah.
So, but it's honestly, it's really in truth, it's really Vox kind of running the show because he has these aspirations of. At first, I thought it was just taking over hell, but now he wants to take over heaven as well, and
he wants to be God.
Oh.
He wants to literally be God. And the thing that's interesting about that is that no one really knew why Vox was in hell. Now we know he was a cult leader, and he was not just a cult leader as in, like creating up a fake being that everybody worships. No,
my God,
his words alone, they were worshiping him. He made a cult about worshiping himself, and he misses feeling like a god. So he wants to get that back. And because he's so close with Valentino and he's so close with Velvet, he wants to give his 2 closest friends, one of which he kind of has a love affair with, the life that he had. He doesn't just want to do it for himself. He wants to give his 2 closest friends the life that he used to have. And he will stop at nothing to do it.
A little bit there. I disagree with you a little bit there. I was talking about betrayal. I think Vox is going to betray them.
Oh, yeah?
I think Vox is going to betray the other 2 V's. I think Alistair at some point is going to betray the hotel crew, and Vox is going to betray the V's. And also another thing. Okay, this will be the ballsiest move that Vizzy could do. And Vox. They said he's a cult leader.
Yeah.
What if she made a Jim Jones reference?
I think that's very intentional.
Yeah.
He's going to be definitely referencing several cult leaders.
I also had another idea. What if Alistair was Jack the Ripper in his life? No,
that does not fit. That's like literally not in like the age range for like the radio.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have also
in his life when he was alive. When Alistair was alive, he was a radio host, correct?
Yeah,
there is one kind of
thing.
weird thing.
And Jack the Ripper was like 1700s, I believe. So he's
1800s. 1800s. Like
1800s.
literally,
and it was way before even radio even started, I believe, right?
Radio was only just.
I don't think it's confirmed if Alistair was like a radio host, but he was definitely like jazz music related. Yeah. So he is after that, like Jack the Ripper.
No,
but either way, he is after Ripper's time.
Alistair is an actual radio host, but Vox is not even an actual TV executive. Like
no, he's
him to be. No, I know that's the thing. That's the thing I'm saying. Like,
right.
So Vox is literally the fake persona who decided to use his talent and pretend in himself. Maybe the whole TV guys is like not even real. Maybe he's just hiding like what he actually looks like.
Or maybe
true.
Or maybe it could also be maybe not an outward like parody of Jim Jones. Maybe it could be like a parody of like any kind. I think maybe you had said this. I think you said this, Derek, and about maybe a kind of an amalgamation of a parody of cult leaders or something. I don't know.
I think that's definitely what they're gonna like. And I feel this season will probably have Vox get defeated or destroyed, but I feel the other V's might stick around more, if anything else, just because Valentino's ownership of
Angel Dust?
That I feel is going to be like still. So that's a plot line I feel will be continuing until like the 4th or 5th season.
Maybe.
So I feel Valentino is going to be unfortunately sticking around for a little bit longer than Vox.
And the thing is, Valentino doesn't really have an interest in ruling heaven, honestly. He just wants to do what he wants and he just wants to do what he wants and screw around and screw and whoever he wants to do what he wants, who he wants. He has no aspirations. He has no aspirations to like become a god.
Yeah, he's just a toxic
Yeah.
himbo. That's
He
literally what
is.
he's.
And apparently we get some Valentino nudity out of this. Well, that was not on my bingo card.
Yeah.
I mean, his his big contribution seems to be, or as far as I can guess, his hold over Angel, and that conquering that is going to be his contribution to the story in the end.
True.
Yeah, because they're always Vox's whole thing is like, gods are perfect, so they have to look perfect. And they don't look perfect when Velvet makes outbursts and causes huge problems during the Overlord meetings.
Right.
And Valentino does not look perfect when he's abusing Angel Dust in public.
Oh, absolutely not. He's
And
practically a pimp, So
yeah, and that actually adds to your theory, Jen, because I think that putting together all the pieces, what's probably going to happen is that Vox, even for a short period of time, succeeds at his goal of conquering hell and heaven, and right before Velvet and Valentino get to do what they wanted, Vox betrays them, sends them back down to hell, and takes full control before getting defeated by heaven and hell.
Or maybe he.
I don't think Vox.
Or maybe he actually just kills them and they are obliterated.
I mean, that would be nice.
I do think Vox is going to betray them, but I don't think Vox is going to get all the way to conquering heaven. I think he basically will become a threat and potentially do damage, but I don't think he's going to get that far.
I
because
just feel.
again, Vox is a mid boss. Like he's not.
I feel like he's gonna at least get far enough to stab Velvet and Valentino in the back.
I mean, it seriously depends on a lot of things, and even if that ends up being accurate, it could well be in the way that Toffee was a mid boss, and like all of the interesting exploration and like coming to a head coup d'etat stuff falls on him, and then everyone after that is less like, now we're getting to the real shit, than more like, well, okay, so what's next?
Honestly, the whole concept of saying Toffee was a mid boss is like so depressing and kind of showcases the poor writing there for Starburst.
Oh, well, speaking of Vox being a mid boss, that gave me another thought. Where the hell is Satan? Are we gonna see Daddy? I mean, Satan.
Well, we have to wait until season 3. We have to wait until season 3.
Yeah, there's going to be crossovers, but it's going to be a while. So, like,
wait a minute.
Satan's just gonna show up out of fucking nowhere and say, "Hey guys, what's been going on over here?"
I just remembered. I absolutely just remembered. I was so excited. I just remembered. No, we're not, because he's in hell of a boss.
Yeah, that's really.
There will be crossovers. But that will be like
the moment we get a crossover, it's just going to be the 7 Sins altogether. That's just honestly just going to be the first crossover because we need to have that justified immediately.
True.
Well, I feel depends what you mean, like first crossover. If it means like we'll see their image in the background, absolutely. Will we actually see them voicing stuff? I don't think this season.
No, not this season.
At least we can get them in the background.
You know what? That's the bare minimum. If Vox doesn't get, I feel like that might be if he doesn't get defeated by Alistair or whatever. If there's a moment where, okay, the only time where they hint of the perfect time to hint at a crossover would be if one of the 7 deadly sins comes up and like offs Vox and it's like, okay, enough of your shit, and then that's it for him. Or either one of the 7 deadly sins, although I don't think they would do a Satan, but if for some reason they did, you even don't have to have him say anything. He could just pop up.
You want to know what I want to happen?
He could just pop up and be like,
you want to know what I want to happen?
He could be like one thing. He could say one thing and like stab him or whatever, Vox, and then Vox is in horror and everything, and he's like, "Man, I hate this show," and then toss his corpse somewhere.
You want to know what would be the perfect deadly sin to deal with this?
Let me guess.
Asmodeus. because he is
Oh.
literally against everything the V's stand for. He's against love potions. Velvet and Valentino are making love potions.
Well, here's
so he
my-
automatically hates Vel. He hates when sex is forced. Valentino forces sex.
Right.
He hates when and I'm pretty damn sure that he would hate when an overlord tries to act like he's more than he is.
There
And
you
Vox
go.
is doing that.
Well,
So
here's
what
the
I
thing-
want to happen is Asmodeus to come down from wherever the fuck he is and kill all three of them on the spot.
You know what?
Okay.
Wait, here. I just want to make a quick comment. If there's going to be a sin that actually I feel gets tried to stop Vox this season, I feel will be pride. And at that point, there's some other.
Isn't
there's
that
a certain
Satan's
some-
sin?
That's Satan. Yeah, that's Satan's sin.
No, that's
No,
Lucifer. That's
Lucifer.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what's saying. I feel pride will might get involved, and then someone else at this doing their own plot might try to get rid of Lucifer.
Mhm.
Wait.
Right.
That they wouldn't have any setup for that because that's like
This
we need
is set up.
some-
This episode was set up for that. This is like the whole setup. Like Loot is doing something this season that's going to be very bad.
No, I don't.
she's
What
doing a lot.
Luke would do, I would assume what Luke would do would be actually creating like a break into like the lockdown in order to let like the sinners like march in and like let the
And then
bees
she'd be like,
actually-
"See, they're rising up!" Yeah. You know,
No, like-
exactly.
No, the main thing is
Yeah.
Loot wants blood and revenge. So she's going to point at either Charlie or Lucy himself, one of the two, or going after Charlie, and then Lucifer gets in the way. Some way, Charlie or Lucifer is going to be the main primary target for Loot.
Yeah. Because she said, like literally, one of the lines in the lines is basically saying that she wants revenge, but by thinking of how you couldn't save her, and taking the one that you need the most. So I think that Loot's plan is to off Charlie and like force Maggie to
Oh.
suffer.
Wait. Okay. That could be one target. What could also be like an actual other target? What if they blindside us and kill Nifty?
Oh my God! It says wishing you were there when. So like when I try to think of all the lyrics, they never say a name. They always say just like taking the one that you need, watching the one that you love that you love die. I feel like all this could either line up to either Charlie or Nifty.
Like honestly, I would be sort of like a big blindside after like the supposed sacrifice of Serpentius. What if we actually get a permanent cast death, but does not get redeemed, and that being Nifty?
Yeah.
And all of hell would just be like all the more be like anti wanting to go to heaven because of like heaven is like really trying to still slaughter after they reigned superior over like the wrongful killings that were happening before. It's like
That would be
It-
so perfect.
I'm just
Honestly-
saying.
Honestly, I feel Nifty is up for debate for the most likely to be redeemed next. Mostly because she's psychotic, but at the same time, she's not necessarily evil. She seems sort of childish. So she
Yeah.
seems most likely like to get her shit together, sort of thing, if that makes sense. Her or
I
She's
feel
just
like
fully lost her
possibly-
mind.
I feel like possibly Cherry, but that's only just
Cherry's
because
the
of
other
Serpentius.
big contender for me. Like Cherry, I
Yeah.
feel the only reason I don't feel Cherry might be next is just because I feel they want to sort of do the Romeo and Juliet thing with her and Serpentius a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So even if she does get redeemed, I feel Cherry is going to be redeemed at some point. But I feel they were going to really want to create a little bit of tension before that. So having her stuck in
Yeah.
hell while he's in heaven. So that means I feel they're going to stretch it out a little bit longer. So that's why I don't think she's next, but going to be close.
Yeah.
I
'Cause again,
gotcha.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
already tried to use Angel Dust as an example in court about how Charlie was able to get people to get better. So he is kind of contender for being the next one, but at the same time, it seems like he's sort of getting better and worse. So it's very 50-50 on whether he's going to be the next one.
Well,
I
thing
think
is, like,
Husk is a better. I think even Husk is a better contender, to be
the
honest.
problem with like
Uh,
Angel, here's the big
Husk-
thing with me is
House
like,
got a problem.
well, the thing with
He's-
Husk and Osco Angel, that's the two big problem they have is they don't own their soul. So how is that going to play a factor into this?
Yeah.
I think that there's a potentiality that their souls are bonded in some way, meaning that that Angel might if Angel was redeemed, we would have to deal with Val, and if Husk was redeemed, we would have to deal with Alistair, both of which are pretty bad outcomes. So that definitely overcomplicates things a lot more.
That's what I was saying.
Here's
like,
my problem mainly with Angel being the next one to be redeemed. He's the main character. They clearly did not write him to be siphoned off from the hotel early. He's in the pilot.
Yeah.
He
I
has
feel
the
the next
deepest, the
big-
hardest to overcome, and the most far-reaching things binding him there. He was, I think, intended to be a big deal for a very crux moment far down the line.
And
Also, can
going
I
into
just say
that-
something about Angel? I don't mean to sound rude to anyone who likes him. I don't care, but like, I can't stand it anymore. I hate Angel Dust. Like, I really, really hate Angel Dust. I hate his design. The thing I hate about him the most is really just the way he treats Husk, because he goes on he's constantly sexually harassing Husk every single second, gets no repercussions for it. And then when Husk rightfully stands up for himself, Angel throws glass at him, trying to hurt him, and then says, "Oh, well, I've been through insert trauma here, which means that it's perfectly fine for me to sexually harass and literally assault Husk sexually and physically," and he gets no repercussions for that shit. I'm not okay with that. And I fucking hate that everyone is always just like, "Oh, it's because of his trauma. Oh, it's because he's hypersexual." Bitch, that isn't an excuse. He shouldn't be doing that at all. And no one else.
Yeah, that's what,
he never gets any repercussions from it at all. In fact, Baggy and Charlie basically punish Husk for standing up for himself. He never
At the
deserved
beginning
that.
of this one, I didn't see. Like,
I think that was just one thing.
Right.
But
I
going
couldn't
back to
hear
that,
everything.
with Husk, Angel Dust, going to all those things, and going what the second said earlier, I do also feel, definitely Angel Dust, I feel is going to be one of the last people redeemed, just because there's so many like he's a sort of a main character, and that's redemption is sort of thing, and also there's so many complications with him. I feel he's going to be one of the last, and I feel that will go into another plot point. Is imagine Angel Dust is going to probably be one of the last, and how will that feel seeing everyone around him getting redeemed but himself?
Oh.
So right now, and it's like, okay, like just like how in Hell of a Boss, I tend to not really like much of the main cast at all, and just only really like some select side characters. And and Hazbin Hotel, we just have I guess Serpentious for me in terms of likable characters, and then I guess Box for likable villains, but yeah. I don't really have and then Husk. Yeah, that's really the only one in the main cast I actually really like. So yeah.
Yeah, I really like Vox and Charlie when it comes to hero and villain characters.
Yeah.
I kind of like Cherry, but at the same time, she's just a fucking enabler for Angel Dust, so she's not great either.
And that's why I don't, and Cherry is the reason that I do not want Serpentious to, to keep this stupid ship with pretentious. Yeah, why do I say pretentious? It's
pretentious.
Sorry, Serpentious and her, because Cherry, as you definitely said, and I agree with you, she's the enabler. She's the enabler of the addict, which is Angel Dust. She's the enabler, and she's kind of the addict and enabler herself. Even in the pilot stuff of Hazbin, she was that too.
Yeah.
But if you remember the original song "Addict," she's like right there alongside Angel, talking about being addicted and everything. And yeah, they just run with her being the enabler, and she's just the toxic girl, and she's the toxic girl, and the fact that Serpentious is sleeping over her, those kinds of ships, I've always wanted to put my head through a wall. And
absolutely, and not
I
only is she an
swear-
enabler for addiction, but she's
Right.
also an enabler for Angel's sexual harassment of other
Exactly.
people.
But
She's completely fine with it.
well, the thing is, like, I
Exactly.
feel the thing is like her is like I feel this season's going to be where we get more depth to her because basically she was just a very side character after this, except for like just basically an enabler and was basically best friend for Angel Dust, and also like a love interest, like starting a love interest for Princess. But we don't really have her like why she's in hell or like anything like that so far. Except for we get a little bit of this season where she's showing regret for missing Sir Princess. So I feel, yeah, she's definitely, I feel, going to be redeemed at some point.
Good luck with that.
But I feel we're going to actually get depths of like who she is and like why she sinned and all that. I feel that's going to be laid out this season and maybe in the next season.
Well, so far we've gotten hints of lore from Vox and we've gotten lore from Serpentius. So, this may be the season we're going to see, we may see lots of lore. And I'm for that, honestly.
Yeah, like that was honestly a big issue about Visipop for like her exposition in season 1, in which we barely got any information about these sinners and their actual backgrounds because, even though there might have been cut content from like the cut episodes, still having your stuff happen in hell, and these are supposed to be sinners, people who have died and been sent here. We didn't even get any background about them back on Earth, which
I feel. I don't think they'll reveal everything so far, just because like that it's the whole about a show. Like they have to leave some mysteries, but I do feel that the like Sir Princess's redemption, like being tied to his original sin, how he got to hell. Knowing that and like knowing that's related to his redemption, I feel that would cause a lot of the other sinners' past to be revealed. So that they can try to attempt to fix that. So I feel that will be an honor. I feel like I forget who mentioned it. Like I feel their backstories will be revealed more this season because of that.
Yeah.
I
agree.
That's where I feel like there's a difference between like, okay, how would you do it if this was your fan fiction and the payoff ended up being what you're imagining it's going to be in your mind versus, okay, writing is a game of everything in its time and place and proper pacing with the focus on what's relevant as the scene is unfolding, not, hey, if we want to know the whole picture, why haven't you revealed this thing that you either A, still have time to reveal, or B, might actually have nothing to do with what the actual point ends up being. Like I'm reluctant to pull triggers like that just when, we're still this early in the game with whether that's relevant or not.
It's just really is like about not even like revealing like their main sin early on. It's just
exactly. We're getting to know them, not their gimmick. If this were a game of D&D or the like.
I know that Angel is a popular character. I really know that he is, and I understand why people like him.
Mm-hmm.
I just absolutely hate the fact that he always gets away with what he does to Husk, and everyone is automatically okay with it. And characters like Cherry and even Charlie a couple times were just straight up enablers for his addiction getting worse and his sexual harassment of Husk getting worse.
I think you're feeling what you're supposed to be feeling, though. Is like a lot of people do love Angel a little too much already. However, like that's sort of point is like Angel, we're not supposed to really like him yet. Like we're supposed to be getting on the path to liking him, on the path to being a good character, but he has a lot to work through before that. So
it just bothers me so much.
Bad people who are going to places they didn't expect through the power of bonding and empathy and the like. And like Angel, I don't know. I still have to rewatch season 1 to get the proper portrait of like what he quote unquote does to Husk versus what the reaction to him is supposed to be. Because like after they start bonding, I actually don't remember much of what their interaction is beyond that. I feel like
it was at the way end of the series, but it feels like I know that people like to ship if like Angel and Husk a lot, but to be brutally honest with you, feels like the only reason that Husk was even fully bonding with Angel was so that Charlie and Vaggie would leave him the fuck alone after he was basically trauma dumping on him and throwing glass at him. So he basically just had to sort of agree with Angel in order to get out of the situation and go back to his normal life. I feel like half of that was him kind of bonding with Angel, and the other half I feel was just straight up self-defense, and I feel sorry for him.
I mean, it played like a scene of like how people come together under imperfect circumstances. Is like, I mean, for one, I mean, the way people treat each other when they have a certain familiarity with each other is not necessarily the same as in a vacuum. That I mean, like like I said, I feel like I need to see the context to nail down the feelings and such. But yeah, for lack of a better word, the scene where Husk and Angel, where they do end up kind of bonding over their mutual traumas and all that, it kind of felt like a point of that their interactions together have been mostly not good, but they had a moment of not only recognizing that they did have things in common, but also like recognizing why their interactions so far were not good, and what it is that they're both suffering through in this kind of scenario.
Yeah, it feels like for me personally, it feels like half of it is them actually bonding, and the other half Husk doing it purely out of self-defense because he was scared about what would happen. Because like, if Husk per se starts standing his ground on how uncomfortable Angel makes him feel, and per se like telling Alistair he wants to leave the hotel, Alistair nearly beat Husk the fuck up after he said that Alistair was on a leash. So like, imagine how badly Alistair would hurt Husk if he dared disobey, saying he doesn't want to be in the hotel anymore because of Angel. He is in the worst position ever of him having to deal with, in my personal opinion, 2 abusers. And it feels like everyone justifies both of their behaviors towards him just because Husk isn't that popular of a character in comparison, and it just drives me out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's true that a rabid fan base can always make a character feel worse. But yeah, I guess in that, like, Husk doesn't seem like the kind of guy who, he has not a machismo, at least not like Adam, but yeah, he does not seem to think that many things besides besides Alistair rather, can hurt him. Like he seems to largely see Angel as just like below him and annoying, at least until they start to understand each other.
All right, but I guess we need to close up some closing thoughts. It's surprisingly getting late.
Sorry about the Husk rant. That certain things in this fandom just kind of grind my gears sometimes.
Well, you want to know what grind my gears?
That's what grinds my gears.
That's what grinds my.
You know what grinds my gears?
But well, speaking of Angel, that's like, I will say, even going back to my original stance here, our whole best episode yet thing with the best song yet.
Yeah.
I mean, as hard as Luke's song rocks, sorry, Poison still exists.
I'm sorry, but I disagree. Like, I'm not an Angel fan, so Luke absolutely takes that spot for me.
Even though I hate Angel, I still really love Poison.
The nuance that Angels has.
Even though I really hate Angel, I still love Poison. So I think in my top tier, I would probably put Gravity and Poison. I can't really separate the two.
For me, it's Gravity the loser baby. That's just me. I was more of a Loser Baby fan.
It's
Oh.
for me. It's like Gravity and Hell is Forever are like together because I feel like Gravity is like the spiritual kind of successor to Hell is Forever. For now, it's Sarah's the song of Sarah's confession to the speaker. That's the one that is those actually. Okay, I will say so. I guess Lute's song and that song are both are standing out really really far in my head right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, like Loser Baby was a great touching sentiment. Poison is a great song. Poison is
True.
a feel everything song. Like
Yeah.
prepare to hit the
True, very
emotional
true.
rainbow at full force.
Yeah,
Agreed,
I think this
agreed.
gave me an idea for at the end of this season to probably do like our favorite songs of Hazbin Hotel.
Oh my god, I
like
would
top
love
5.
that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you. I'm just warning you, Derek. It's just gonna get bloody very quickly.
Oh, there will be.
But I guess any other closing thoughts of this first 2 episodes as we jump into I think probably 3 more reacts if we go in 2 episodes.
I would like to bring up about about like the full like advertisement about heaven, and then just being quietly being let known that heaven is quite literally a prison for the people who end up in it. It's like, yeah, it's like the afterlife just feels like a whole big prison system, even if you're bad or you're good. That's just all I gotta say about that. It's like I like the idea about it. You know, it's like it kind of makes you wonder what is actual freedom after death. You know, it's like if you're separated from your loved ones who are in the opposite side, then does it really feel like heaven, or is it just the hell of your own making?
This is what happens when a show stirs somebody's existential questions.
I mean, he's got a point. Like,
he does.
they've definitely got a point.
What can happen?
I'm sorry, but I have to be the philosophical one. You can be the analytical one about these episodes, but I'll just handle philosophy.
She's gonna be handling the philosophy here.
All right. But any other closing thoughts of these first 2 episodes?
I love the bees.
Oh man, I am excited. I am excited for what is. I am literally frothing at the mouth for what comes next. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I feel like the second episode was really the only episode that actually had me somewhat interested, and if only just because of Serpentius's reactions to everything going on in heaven.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to cope with everything, and then
I
him
feel
just trying
like-
to end it all.
I feel these 2 episodes complement each other in a way. Where I feel the first episode was essentially like the first episode of the first season, where it's essentially just set up. Like, and setup episodes aren't really fun, but they're just like that one is setting up that the Voxes are going to be sort of the big villains of this season. And then I feel the second episode is where we sort of get into the big lore and also character development and all that. So that's why it's more interesting to like sort of dissect that.
Because it feels like a lot more of like a impactful lore dump episode than like say introducing the Overlords for some weird reason in back in episode 3.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this actually feels relevant to the plot about the different sides and about maybe any other side plots that they want to go into that seems related to it. Like, it just felt like a very functional and very well crafted second episode, and I feel like happy about that. I don't really have much favorite for Hazbin Hotel episodes, just to be honest with you. Like maybe
Same way I do.
for like I was a fan of the pilot, but then when the actual season 1 happened, it was like, hey, I was a bit of a fan for like episode 4 just for like the parts at the end with Loser Baby. Then afterwards was like, maybe like, or like episode 7 with like just like the whole deal with Alistair, just to be like, okay, now we're getting the plot, like we're getting like this knife stab in the back setup, and then like the finale with like the whole fight. but I wasn't really feeling much for like anything else for season 1. Well, I felt something for season 2, episode 2. That's just what I wanted to bring up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sort of goes into my one thoughts on this episode is I feel like this is going to be a very fun season because we were all very eager and energetic in our discussion about like often over like talking to each other and all that. That's a very good sign that we enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
Boy, you make a good point.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
We're all going to be foaming at the mouth to do this again.
Let's
Next-
go.
Next
We're already craving that next hit of Hazbin Hotel. Seriously, we're already going through withdrawal.
Craven the Hunter, Hunter the Craven. Hunting the
I have
Craven.
a
Craven the Hunter. What? See, it's already happening. We need that next hit. We need that next hit. Toot sweet.
But with that said, I guess I'll see y'all like hopefully next week so we can
Absolutely. So excited.
All right. See y'all.
See ya.
Good night.
Take care.